Hiya guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and yesterday I did a video and showed you the kits I bought the last week or so and said to you if you want to see a review of any of them, please let me know. And you have come back with a resounding amount of you, if that's the right word, asking to see this. Okay, and out of all the kits I showed you, this was the cheapest one of all. This was a tenner on eBay. Thank you to Sarah Jane. She knew I was looking for a McDonald's Thunderbird or a McDonald's NASCAR. I didn't care, as I said in the video yesterday, I didn't care if it was 2020 or 1962. I didn't care, I just want a McDonald's NASCAR because I want to do a fast food themed thing. So I've got KFC GT3 Audi, and I've got a Domino's, I think it's a March 88 Daytona car. So there we go. So so this is the kit. This is AMT ERTL. Obviously this is when they merged, because they used to be separate, didn't they? I remember as a youngster building ERTL truck kits and AMT truck kits, and the ERTL truck kits always had the better tyres. I think they had more chrome. The instructions were certainly a lot better, and you always had those paper transfers that you were told to stick on with rubber cement as a mask and then paint the cab. If you remember those, you're as old as me. So I forgot one in the stash actually. So anyway, AMT ERTL. This is the Billy Elliot, or Bill Elliot. I keep saying Billy Elliot because in England there was a, I don't know what it was, an opera or whatever it was with Billy Elliot. So Bill Elliot, McDonald's racing team. This is the 1995 number 94 car. I've just done a quick research just to check it was 95. Apparently from 95 to 2000 Bill Elliot funded his own team, so he was self-funded at this point. So skill level 2, whatever that means. Glue required for assembly, paint recommended, over 110 parts. Do you know what, I really don't like that, over 110 parts. So is it 111 parts or is it 849? You know, why don't you just say how many parts it is? So looking around the box here, we've got some specification of the actual car itself. So we've got a multi-piece assembly with opening truck. Oh, this is the actual model itself, not the car itself. So we've got it's telling us what the gearbox is, the transmission. We've got the suspension parts in there, wheels and tyres, interior features, over 110 parts, authentic full colour decals, paint and cement not included. And this is an image of the real car here. End of the box we've got another image of the front of the box, and then on the side here we've got some nice reference pictures. You can see there we've got some nice picture there looking in the trunk, and then we've got a nice picture there under the hood, and then we've got some front on and side on pictures there. So nice, very nice indeed. So there we go, and on the back there's some information here. I'm not sure what year this kit is. I think it's 1995. So anyway, let's have a look inside the box. So as I said, I bought this on eBay, so it's second hand, so it didn't come all cellophane sealed and everything. So the packaging is to be ignored. The seller has actually packaged this up wonderfully, thank you very much, and done a great job. You can see all the clear parts here in a separate little Ziploc bag, which is really nice. So first of all, before we go into the box, let's have a quick look at the instructions. And the instructions are huge. Look at this, they're absolutely massive. So if you're old like me and your eyes are starting to go, then you'll have no problem with these whatsoever. So there we go. So it's all about McDonald's stock car racing, some hints and tips about painting and gluing and stuff like that. Building tips for the advanced modeler. So interesting. Read all labels and warnings carefully. And then going into the manual, here we go. Big fold out manual. I'll have to do a walk around with this, I think. Get my coffee mug out of the way. So engine assembly, so we've got the black calves going together, the heads going on, we've got the rocker covers there, we've got the water pump going on the front, and then we've got the alternator, belts and fan, and then we're going to put on the headers. Some are wrapped and some aren't, I see. We've got the shift linkage for the 4-speed, and then we've got the fan assembly going on, distributor going on, and adding the air filter. One of the minimum things you can do with these, just to sort of make them pop a bit, drill out the distributor, drill out the spark plugs and put some leads on. That'll make it look great. So that's the engine assembly taken care of. So that's how they're doing this. They've got A, engine assembly, and then B, we're looking at doing the wheels. So we're basically taking the outer wheel halves, 505, so they're the same front and back, adding the tyres, and then we've got the I'm assuming this is the front because it's got a pin, and this is going to be the back 'cause it's got a metal axle. Something I don't understand, the wheels are actually in the kit are chrome, and they're telling us here to paint them black, so don't know, but I'll strip all that anyway. So the radiator going together there, shifter going together here, and then we're going to add the firewall, pedals, seat, fuel cell, fire extinguisher, radiator duct. Lots and lots going on here, lots and lots going in. And then we've got the roll cage going together there. I always like to try and build the roll cage as one and then paint it as one, and then you don't have all the joints showing. And then here we've got some more bits and pieces going in. So we've got the steering wheel, the column, we've got the dash panel going in, front top brace of the roll cage. This is, like I said, I like to try and do all this together. And then we've got the package shelf going in, or the rear shelf, oil compartment and forward cross member. And then over here we have got the chassis assembly. So this is going to be the front wishbone suspension. So that's all very nice. We've got coil springs there depicted in plastic. They might look better if they were depicted in actual coils. Rear axle going together, exhaust pipes, and then we're going to add the exhaust pipes. We've got a 4-link by the look of it, 5-link I expect. It's going to be a 4-link or a 5-link rear end going in. We've got an oil pump for the axle. We've got a safety loop for the prop shaft, which is always a good thing to have. And then we've got that's going to be the rear subframe this end. Now I'm guessing it might be an anti-roll bar. Shock absorbers, brake discs going in. It's got lots and lots of detail in it for an old kit. It's pretty good. And then carrying on over here, we've got the final assembly. So we've got the hood going on. We've got the windows going in. It says here clear, but I noticed on the box there's a very, very strong tint in those windows. You can just see, if you look here where my finger is, I don't know if you pick it up, you can just see out the other side. So it's not actually painted black, it is very strongly tinted, so we might try and do that. Bumper going on, and then the body going on the chassis. I believe I'm right in saying, tell me if I'm wrong please, NASCAR fans, that all of the NASCARs were the same. Okay, the only difference was the engine. I believe Chevys had Chevys, you know, Pontiacs would have had GMs and that, Fords would have had Fords, but I think the actual chassis and the roll cage, I think, was the same, and then they just chucked a look-alike body on it. Because like if you look today, you've got the Mustang racing in that. It looks nothing like a Mustang to me. And then we've got some spares here for a little bit of a diorama if you want to. So you've got a fuel can going together there. We've got a jack, which is a nice touch. And here we've got some fuel pipes going. I noticed these are moulded in clear, which is a nice touch because then you can make them look like they've got fuel in them, whatever. So that's a very nice touch indeed. And then here we've got our colour callouts, and we've got some decals here. Now this kit, when I saw it advertised on eBay, the gentleman had cut one of the decals off and tried it out because the decal sheet looks a bit knackered. But he actually cut one off and tried it out, and it worked absolutely fine. So I think he's actually put the decal on one of the parts in the kit. But I think one of them is this right rear tyre. I think he's used this right rear tyre. So we might be left without that. But I got a feeling he may have actually used a big one that would be put written in chalk on the outside of the tyre on the tread. We shall see in a minute. So we're all basically all red, and we got all our McDonald's decals going on there, so decals. So yeah, gonna look lovely. Gonna look very nice. I've just noticed here on the side of the box they show the front of the car as having this kind of white or aluminium area here, and yet there's nothing depicting it there. So obviously bit of research you need to know, because obviously race by race, you know, Talladega, Daytona, Watkins Glen, whatever, they probably had different liveries. So there we go. So that's the instructions looked at. It's a massive sheet that it is. So let's have a look at the kit. Right, delving into the box, as you can see, clear parts there. We've got our body here. We've got a bag of white plastic parts there. We've got a chrome sprue. We've got 4 tyres. We've got subscribe to the blueprinter. I bet that doesn't work though. And then we've got our McDonald's decals, and as you can see here, we've got one of these decals cut out. So not really too worried about that. I could always reinvigorate it actually if I need to. And then the bottom of the box here we've got a metal axle, which is great to know. So quick look at the decals. As you can see, lovely bright sheet with a great big yellow M for the hood and everything. What I might do with these, just to be on the safe side, as you know I did this the other day, I've got this, what have I done with it? I've got some decal film renovator and just sort of paint it on. In fact, what I might do is cut this one off here, and if that one doesn't break up, we should be alright. They still look glossy and they don't look chalky, so that's a good thing. What we could do actually is put them in the sunlight to get some of the yellow out of them. But as you can see, we've got the great big Reese's peanut butter cups for the trunk, and then we've got the great big McDonald's there for the hood. Massive numbers and great big McDonald's flashes down the side. So this is exactly what I want. I want a big fast food theme. Lovely. So we've got tyre decals there as well, so that's a nice touch. But yeah, he's cut out one of these, so unfortunately I won't have that decal, but we'll see if I can reinvigorate it, or even put it on with a bit of white pencil or something, or just leave it off all four wheels. So there we go. So there's all the decals and sponsors decals and everything, so that's all looking very nice. We'll put those back in there face down. So looking at the parts, we'll start off by having a look at the body. Don't be fooled by this. Don't think this is just cheap rubbish moulding because it's all smooth and everything and there's no detail or anything. This is how they are. It's just basically sheet metal work, welded or whatever, and the idea is to be as aerodynamic as possible but retaining the shape of the original car. So that would have the overall silhouette of the Ford Thunderbird of 1994 or whatever, but it won't be the same width and everything. It won't be exactly the same. It may not even be the same size, but it has to be the same silhouette. As you can see there, we've got the lovely front view with those beautiful headlights and everything, and we've got some grills down in here moulded in, which will take a wash. Lovely. So and nice to see we've got a separate trunk, so we can remove the trunk and look up inside and see all the detail in there. We've also got the flaps in here. These, I can't remember what they call them now, but if I can catch it in the light, you'll see them there. They're engraved detail, and basically they're designed so that it gets into a spin, or it gets whatever goes backwards, then they come up and they stop it from flipping over. So really, really good idea. Very, very good idea. I think they were named after a driver, and I can't think who it was. I used to follow NASCAR very closely, but then when Richard Petty gave up, I sort of stopped. I met Richard Petty. I was at the first Autosport International show at the NEC back in the early 90s. I'm sure it was early 90s, may have even been late 80s. And I was there, and I was with my friend Alan Coles, and looked over and I said, "Shit, there's Richard Petty." Now, of course, back then, most English people hadn't even heard of NASCAR, but me, having grown up in the States and been mad on cars, recognised him straight away. He said, "Come on over here." And I went over, and he gave me a t-shirt, and he signed the t-shirt for me. Go fast forward a few years, I saw my girlfriend of the time doing some cleaning and using a white piece of cloth that I thought looked like my t-shirt, and she decided to use it as a rag and destroyed it. She ripped it up and destroyed it, and it was a signed Richard Petty t-shirt. You stupid cow, Alison. I know you're not watching, but if you are, you stupid cow. My God, did I give her a new ass. Anyway, tyres, they're going to go up in the lathe and get turned to get rid of that massive ridge in the middle. There's a huge ridge in the middle of there. So they're going to go up in the lathe and get turned. Get a nice flat finish on them. Although they do have a sort of slightly bulbous appearance, don't they? But they've got a Goodyear actually moulded on one side, and then the other side is plain. So I guess you can paint this if you want to, or you can put the decals on there as per the instructions. So there we go, that's that. Then we've got our main bag of white plastic parts, or light grey, whatever you want to call it. And there's a couple of loose parts in here, but the guy that sold it described that as actually, really, really accurately. So here we've got the actual floor itself, and as you can see, there's lots and lots of detail in that floor, and you've got all the rolled detail on these panels here. These would have all been sheet metal. I'm not sure if they would have been aluminium or steel. Sorry, aluminum or steel, but they had those in there for stiffening. We've got the front cross member here, front clip, front chassis legs. You've got some sort of aerodynamic scoop there, and then you've got all the detail repeated on the underside. So very nice indeed, very beautifully done for such an old kit. That is lovely. And also, when you look at how old this is, the ejector pin marks, there's one there, there's one there and one there, and that's it. Oh, there's one there and one there, but look how faint they are. So modern manufacturers could learn a lot from that. You can see that one there just by my finger. And then we got one down here which I can probably pick up in the light. So yeah, amazing. Amazing to think all the way back then they got it that good. So there's a spare wheel which has come off the sprue here. So we've got some brake discs there with the calipers, lots and lots of flash, shock absorbers, fan, we've got uprights here, got a prop shaft, that's part of the roll cage by the look of it. We've got that oil can here, there we go, that's the decal he took off. You can see it on there, left front 99, so I may have to see if I can reinvigorate that with some microset or something, get it to come off again and then put it on the tyre. But there we go, so that's that sprue. And then this sprue here, this is sprue, well they don't have sprue letters, it's just numbered sprues, so you've got to hunt around forever and try and find it. But here we've got parts of the roll cage, as you can see, all nice and flashy. That's that rear subframe. There's the fuel cell going in the back, which looks nicely detailed. We've got the front cross member there with the steering gear on it. Looks like it's got a steering box, wow. More roll cage parts there. The exhaust system there was just a straight through, no silencers or anything. And then we've got the driver's seat, and we've got moulded in belts, which will have to be cut off and replaced, I think. And then that is the cover there for the oil tanks and everything. So yeah, it's flashy, but you know, hey, it's a model car at the end of the day, and it will go together lovely. So here we've got the I was looking for a date on there. It's got ERTL moulded on there, so it's not actually AMT, it's ERTL. But these are obviously the sides of the roll cage with the door protection. So there we go. These things did 200 miles an hour and plus. So they had to have good protection. And they've got the instrument panel there with some nice gauges on it, moulded on, which will take a while, dry brush and everything lovely. So yeah, very nice indeed. That's the upper dash panel there, I'm thinking, and that's going to be the rear deck. Bulkhead, again with all the lovely, both sides you've got the rolled stiffening in there, so that's all nice. And then we've got the hood and the trunk, got the pins on there. We've got the rear bumper. There's the front cross member here. We've got the transmission, drive shaft loop there, radiator with fan, rear spoiler there, duct for the intake at the front, looks like an anti-roll bar, and then we've got wishbones there for the front suspension, and the both the trunk and the hood have internal detail on them, which is nice. And then finally we got this sprue here, which is the rear suspension. This is the 5 links, so it is a 5 links. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links. We've got the engine parts here, inlet manifold, sump. It's going to be a dry sump this. There's the shifter linkage. We've got some there are pulleys there. I think that's for the oil pump on the axle. And then these are the pulleys and that for the engine. Rear axle there, pedals, rear springs, steering wheel, headers. They are wrapped. All the headers are wrapped, so that'll be interesting to paint that in like a sail colour and then give it a wash. So yeah, you could really make this come to life, I think, with a bit of painting and a bit of special painting and a few little cables here and there, nothing too much. And then finally the clear parts. Have a look in here. This beautifully provided bag. Thank you very much. It's nice to see eBay sellers that take a bit of care. You know, you've got those that just shove it in a jiffy bag, and you've got those that sort of wrap it in gold like this. It's like, thank you very much. Come out. Right, here we go. So the clear parts. Tiny bit of scuffing on there, but nothing much. But you can see they're all nice and clear. Not too much distortion on them. Let's have a look through here. So they're not too bad. You know, typical 90s clear parts, but at least they haven't got any shut lines or anything in them. Looks like they've got an ejector pin mark in that one. There's a circle in there. Where? You've got side windows there, and then here are those fuel pipes going in the back. So you've got the main fuel filler there. So you'll paint the ends silver, and then you'll paint the clips silver, but the actual pipe in between was clear, so they could see when it was full. And then the same here with the fuel breather line, that's clear as well. So very nice touch that they've done that, rather than having to try and paint it silver, trying to make it look like it's clear. But yeah, beautifully done. And if you notice as well, they've done the same as Revell. They've made this great big clear part. The only clear bit you need is this clear bit in the middle, and that's where they've put the sprue connector on the bit you want. You ask yourself, don't you, why didn't they put it up there? Say one there, or just on one end, you know, rather than put it right there. Oh dear. Anyway, so there we are. So that's that kit, guys. It's been a quick review because there's not really a lot to talk about. You've also asked for a review of the model Factory Hero kit, which I will do when I'm in the mood, because it's a massive, that's going to be probably a 1.5 hour long review. So it's a massive project. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on what you think of this kit. Let me know in the comments below. Bye for now. Oh, another thing, if you know of any other kits that feature fast food, let me know and I'll try and get hold of them. If you've got one you want to sell me, let me know and I'll buy it off you. Bye for now.